I was trying to. This don't even look like me. ChatGPT is be wild. Who do good ones that like actually use your face? ChatGPT be trying not to use your likeness.
It's weird, man. Cause see, what I don't like about the AI, is like the constant updates. So it's like if you were in a relationship with somebody, and every time they got feedback from anybody anywhere in the world, they change the capitulation of that feedback. So you never know which partner you're coming home to. That's what it's like. So like one time
I'm like,
why? With ChatGPT, next week you can't do this, and then next week you can again. But it's like because
I was like, I wanted to, but I know people are using some sort of AI that will make photos in their likeness because people always posting them on Facebook. But I don't know what it is because it ain't ChatGPT. ChatGPT would not make photos in your likeness.
Well, it used to.
Yeah, it used to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
And it probably will again. But it's like.
Let me see if Gemini will do it. But hello, everyone.
Hello, man. Drill in the building, man. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man.
Still alive.
I'm gonna be trying something new today when Yellow pop up. I'm gonna be trying something new.
Yeah.
Hard for each of you niggas. We'll take one back for Yellow's later. So take one back and then send it later.
Which hopefully is only like 5 minutes.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, we are actually on a time constraint, so this should be a tight program with me and Bree and Yellow. Because Bree's back a bit. Me and Yellow may stay on. How's everything going though, man, Drill? How's everything been?
I had the longest dental appointment of my life yesterday, and so I missed therapy, and so that's why I had to reschedule to today.
So, what's your teeth looking like? They gotta be jacked.
I mean, they now. They look amazing. But I'm like really sensitive too, so like I need all the drugs. I need all the numbing. My x-rays took a long time because apparently my hair was so thick that it became an issue. We had to do them like we tried 3 times, and we had to do all the bite wings. It just ended up being like should have been an hour, ended up being like 2, you know.
That's a long dental appointment.
Yeah.
Now for me, everything's been pretty good, man, Drill. I mean, you know what they say, you could complain, what would be the point? But I'm actually pretty solid right now. Everything's pretty copacetic.
The music is a little louder than you. You're like kind of lower than the music.
There is no way that music is louder than me. It's down to 22.
It's still big. Well, you're just like low. It's not that the music is loud. You're kind of low.
I might be on the wrong mic. Yep. What about now?
Yeah, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was on the wrong mic. My bad.
Metro Boomin.
My bad, y'all. My bad. Every now and then when my camera does something weird, it takes the microphone off and uses the system array through the laptop, and it's trash. But I'm pretty good, man, Drill, because I probably wouldn't have heard it over the music. My bad. I'm well. Hopefully you are as good. Hopefully you're good too. Do you enjoy teeth cleaning, Brie?
Who enjoys getting their teeth cleaned? I hate everything about the dentist. I don't know if anybody enjoys getting their teeth. It's like one of those adult enjoyments of like, oh, this is something I need to have done. Like, but I don't think anybody's like, yay.
There is a part of teeth cleaning I like. There's like that feeling, like when your teeth are like really clean.
Yeah,
There's a different feel. There's a different feel to your teeth. I like that part.
Yeah, but the process of it, I don't think anybody enjoys. We enjoy the benefit of how they look and feel after, but not scraping, poking, prodding. I don't like all it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. So.
Well, real quick, for those of you that are here, let me just roll through what we're going to be doing. I'll do the opening while we're waiting on Yellow. So, welcome to Chronic Masturbators. This is the symposium where we strip away the pleasantries to inch ever closer to that elusive truth. Tonight, we're going to ask a heavy-hitting question. In a world that's constantly harming, threatening, traumatizing us, do we reach for a preacher and a psych practitioner, or a pill and a plate of nachos? But first, I'm going to go ahead and get into the first of our guests, we have our resident spiritual girly. I just found out the toe sucker of Jesus, the author of 50 Shades of Yahweh. Also, as a support main, she has still racked up a higher body count than Body Blue and Cardi B. And you know her, you love her, you fear her. She is Kauai Bree.
Here you go. I even got a new picture. Okay, so Gemini
Hey.
did it. Gemini will
did it.
use your
Let's go.
likeness. Yeah.
Let's
So,
go.
yeah, we're ready. We're getting more
Let's
into
go.
litigation these days, so I'm very
Okay.
much so ready.
I wonder what you were saying right there, like in that pose.
I just told it to look like I'm arguing as a lawyer. So
That's what I'm saying. That's what it looks like. But I'm wondering, like, you can't
explain
handle the
to
truth.
me. That's more like that don't make no sense. Make it make sense.
Yeah. Okay. Make it make sense. Okay.
That's like, I mean, they did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Got the big blonde Serena hair though. Well, where's she at?
Yeah, I haven't worn that wig in forever. Forever. Right. Yeah, I might have to throw that wig on one of these days.
Yeah. Shout out to you. Is there anything you would like to tell the chat about yourself?
I be arguing.
The audience.
I'm a master debater. To the point where at work, I'm actually I'm going to try to make the move into litigation.
Okay.
I like to argue. I always knew I did, but it's too obvious that I like to argue. I need to do something with that power, that superpower.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm ready. And you like to argue. So I'm expecting my opponent to come up with very arbitrary,
and capricious,
meaningless, distracted arguments to support his side. So we are ready.
Let's go. All right.
What gave you this idea? That's what I want to know.
Okay, so I put it in the description. I put a link in the description for anybody that's on YouTube. There's actually a very small channel. I think they have like 40 subs. I don't even know how long it's been going on, but they are doing a person versus person debate every week. And I saw one on, what was the topic? Oh my God. Because this guy named Dr. L, who's a larger content creator, like I think a few thousand people. So he was reacting to one. Has feminism taken over the black community? It was something about feminism and black people. But I didn't watch his reaction. I just went to the source. I like trying to, when somebody's reacting to something, I like to try to get to the original thing. Because like they'll chop it up too much. It's a debate. I want to hear the debate. And it was actually interesting. So that was my inspiration. So I did put the link to their channel in the description for anybody that's interested in going to check it out. It's a black lady who moderates, and she'll have two different people on. If you want to, you can go to their website and become a moderator. I mean, not moderator, a debater. You can become a mass debater on a different channel. So we got our second person. He is our ambitious, our pandemic alpha male podcaster who is 6'2". He's a high value meal man who will take you on a coffee date at the coffee house he is CEO of. Not to mention he is also a known herbologist and natural enthusiast. He is Yella. Welcome.
Grand Rising, people. Grand Rising.
Oh my God.
Would you like to tell the audience anything about yourself today? Since you're not on cam, you won't be double barreling. Then would you like to tell anybody about yourself?
Nothing than, you know what I'm saying, just generally awesome.
Okay.
9 times out of 10, I am victorious.
Okay.
And only the 10th time is just because I let people win, because I'm that awesome.
Okay.
So, yeah. So if Bree win today, I let her win.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Well, listen, because this is like a trial run, this is really not going to be scored. Plus, Bree has an additional time constraint, so we have to be out here in 80 minutes. not 80 minutes, 79 minutes. So we have 79 minutes, and I don't know how much of this we'll get to, so we'll get through it as much. But I want to say what we're going to do for the two of you, because you guys have a rough idea, but we haven't gone through the whole thing. So everybody, anybody that watches this on replay, Naya in the chat, Mangelo, if you pass back through, we are going to debate what we know works fast versus what we believe works the longest and the deepest. Pause. Do we want to understand our pain, or do we want to interrupt it? Today's question will be about that dichotomy. So the format, which these two are hearing for the very first time, so pay attention, you two. We're going to have 4 topics, rounds, categories, whatever you want to call it. They're going to be divided into 3 minutes for each guest, then 1 minute for rebuttals, maximum 2 rebuttals. Timers will be used. So when you hear this sound, again, when you hear this sound, right?
Your time is up.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up. When you hear that sound. Let me see. Is there something else? Nah, that's more fun. Let's go with this. No, wait. Okay. So you hear this, and if you don't wrap it up in time, if you don't wrap it up succinctly, you're gonna get screamed over. You're gonna scream to him. All right. So, again, conclude your point once you hear so that you don't get the. If you do not use your full time, please say that you came early to your conclusion. Okay. So, what, man?
Okay.
There may be follow-up questions from me between the rounds. I do have a few follow-up questions, but I didn't get those into the banners. I started doing stuff late. For whatever reason, I didn't do this last night. Lay out your arguments. Let me see. If you have any, we didn't prepare this, so you don't have any facts or data to corroborate your point. So we're just going purely off opinion. Just take your stance. Let me see. If you need notes, take notes or whatever, because we're not doing interruptions. People get their full time. That's what I'm trying to get to. Also, today we're going to fall on our normal side. So Bree is kind of pro 2 of these things in the title. Yella's kind of more pro 2 of these things. Not that they each don't have their own versions of all 4, but Yella will lean more towards the food and the weed, and Bree is going to lean more towards Jesus and therapeutics, as she talked about earlier. So we're going to let them fall on that side. But typically what I want to do, if we do this again, would be to assign sides or to even vacillate, to randomize sides. So it's not like you came in with the point of view and you're sticking with that. So we may play with that if we do this again in the future. Okay. In the future, it also may be people, if anybody wants to participate or send in suggestions, or you want to participate, we can do that as well. You can be a panelist, you can be a person that debates a side. So, we can play with it. So this is more about clashing with opinions. If you can make a rhetorical or logical concessions, as long as you also make a good faith attempt at making the argument that you're assigned. So Yella, since she'll be advocating for like weed and food or alcohol, like those type of things, like actual tangible things, like even if you believe that Bree is onto something, you'll still make an argument for your side as well. But I can see that blah blah blah, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. There will be at the end a sparring rounding if we have time for this today, because Bree's got a time crunch. There will be a last round where you guys it's not a specific question, where you guys can go back to any point from the entire 4 segments, or just bring up something new, or to go back and forth about anything.
Okay.
And again, the person that inspired this stream, their link is in the description. It says Lisa. It says the 2 sides of the truth. There's a 2-sided truth, but when you click on it, it just says Lisa, which is so weird. But it's a very small channel. I was shocked because they have a website and everything, so they put some thought into it and effort. So I was like, wow, I'm shocked they had such a small viewership. But as a hors d'oeuvre, I have an icebreaker question to start us off. Before we get into the biochemistry of the matter, I want to settle this classic conundrum for our low stakes warm up. If you're having the absolute worst day of your life,
Mhm.
Let me see. I'm trying to pull it. There we go. You're having the absolute worst day of your life. Are you more likely to reach for the Bible, BetterHelp, as in therapist, bacon cheese, double cheeseburger? Wait a minute, what happened? Is that on a timer? Okay, hold up.
Yeah, that's
They
weird.
keep adding a timer to this, and I took it off. Hold on, let me save it again. All right. Thank you. Are you more likely to reach for the Bible, BetterHelp, a bacon double cheeseburger, or a bottle/blunt? What is your specific go-to? And we'll start with Brick.
I'm gonna say a bottle
Okay.
of wine, probably.
Okay.
And there's a B that's not on there, but
I mean, that's
binge-
why you don't have
a
to stick
binge
to
watch.
this.
Right now, I'm
Okay.
saying a binge watch session. I'm
Okay.
gonna watch
Yeah.
some Studio Ghibli movies and drink some wine, but bottles on there.
Okay. Yeah, so this is just like to represent the four we have, but you can go anywhere
Yeah.
with this. So even during the debate, you don't have to necessarily stay on the script to make your argument. Like if you have a roundabout point to make, I mean, you can go outside of. We're not confined. This is a intellectual playground. So, Yella, a bottle and a binge watch on Bree's side. Yella, what is your go-to if you're having the worst day of your life?
I know BetterHelp is the least likely that I'm gonna reach for,
No.
but I'm gonna reach for what I got right here. On a good day, on the best day, and the worst day, I'm grabbing me a blunt and I'm rolling up.
All of those opinions, options. All of those options are counterproductive. And what would be your go-to? You're having the worst day of your life, Mandrill. Inya, what is your go-to? What is the thing that you're leaning on to get you through it? All right, that is the icebreaker question. So we are going to begin in earnest here, talking about the tangibility of relief. So neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin respond nearly instantly to caloric intake and chemical stimulants, creating a measurable reward within seconds. While SSRIs have a known chemical onset, the placebo effect accounts for up to 30 to 50% of the perceived improvement in religious or meditative healing studies. And again, the placebo effect is a literal brain-producing outcome where your brain will produce measurable physiological changes based upon your belief or your expectation. So the placebo effect accounts for up to 30 to 50% of perceived improvement in religious or meditative healing studies. And refined sugar and sedatives provide sensory biofeedback almost instantly, whereas cognitive behavioral therapy often requires 12 to 20 sessions before a patient reports a baseline shift. So my question to the two of you for this first prompt is the realness of a chemical reaction inherently superior to the abstract promise of spiritual or mental healing? And we are going to start with Yella. You have 3 minutes. The timer will be up. You can start at any time, but I'll be getting the timer up momentarily.
Wait for the timer to get up so we can. Okay, so to the question, is the realness of a chemical reaction inherently superior to the abstract promise of spiritual or mental healing? And I would definitely say yes, it is superior because it is an actual happening. See, the realness will always be superior to abstract. While abstract is fun to play in, and while it's, you know what I mean, it's involving some creativity, what really needs to happen is an actual change in those periods of time. So I know that I can think about feeling better, but I know that when I roll up, I'm gonna feel better. If it ain't before a moment, it might be that moment I need to actually just think a little clearer about what's gonna happen next. How I'm actually going to heal. So, yeah, that's my turn.
All right.
You gotta
Appreciate
say
that.
you came early.
I came early.
All right, Bree. We're gonna go. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we're going. You can go ahead and start anytime. Your 3 minutes will start, and you have the prompt.
Okay. Is the realness of a chemical reaction inherently superior to abstract? I would say that it's not inherently superior. I just think that you can't see either one. You can't see the chemical reaction happening, and you can't see sometimes how therapy or faith is healing you. So I kind of feel like both of them require the same things. But I will say I think there's inherent superiority in the person that who can believe in something that they can't see in general over the person who can't. I think the person who can believe that I'm going to choose to believe this thing is going to help me or get better will actually get better, and that's like the real placebo, kind of like the placebo effect. I think they both are the same. Like just having the general belief that you will be okay, I think will almost most of the time help you be okay. So that's why I think that actually spirituality, mental health, all of those things, having faith in the unseen, I think ultimately is the superior fix. Because you're not going to be able to see it, but it's like you can believe that today, you can believe that right now before you ever do anything, that you're going to be all right. And sometimes I feel like that is all you need, and it's not the food. So I'm more on the side of no, I don't think the realness of the chemical reaction is more superior to faith.
Okay. Now, I like that. That is a very compelling point. Yella, do you have a rebuttal? If so, you'll have 1 minute on the clock once you start.
I would say my only rebuttal to that would be that the idea of being okay is different from actually feeling better, because a lot of times our biggest issue is just how we feel in that moment. The situation is going to get fixed regardless. The situation is going to have a resolution one way or the other. But I think what people struggle with is that moment of, oh shit, like I'm panicking, everything is going wrong, I can't really grasp onto nothing. And sometimes just thinking it's going to be okay might not stop you in that moment from feeling that panic. But see, when you twist something so beautiful and so green, or when you pick up, maybe it don't even have to be like a burger, maybe it could be like a pack of Dino fruit snacks, right? There's something comforting in that immediate moment that will just bring down that little bit of anxiety and make you know it's going to be okay.
All right. Right on the minute. I like that. Bree, would you like to counter that? If you'd like to, go ahead. I'll have the minute timer up momentarily.
I know, but I think that still all falls in the realm of mental health. I would just say, like what you're describing is grounding yourself, and that is part of being okay. Sometimes it's just grounding yourself in reality or realness, which eating or doing something with your body generally will help. That's it.
No, I actually do. I really enjoy that argument that you made, that the same thing is happening on both sides. It may not even be the food, even though there's a chemical reaction from the food. There could also be a placebo effect there as well. If I believe if I eat this burger or if I smoke this weed, that's going to make it better. That belief alone could be placebo affecting just as much as the physiological effect. So that's something to think about. That was a good one, Brie. I like that.
Yeah, especially when you realize that no matter what you doing, it ain't gonna be okay. Now you done feel some shit that
right. You be like, I'm in the thick of it.
Right.
Okay. Gun range. Mandrell said he'd be pew pew. Okay. The physical, he said the tangible, also the food or the drugs also cause other problems. Temporary fixes, not actual solutions. That's fair. We're gonna talk about the temporality, the ephemeral nature of that momentarily. But I have a couple follow-up questions for that. Now, for Yella, Bree made a compelling argument. if belief alone can change your body, the placebo effect, is that really different from a drug? So Bree was already on this. Is that really different from a drug, or is belief just the oldest drug we have? Yo, I'm gonna give you 1 minute on that. You can start, and the timer will be up shortly.
Nah, I firmly agree that belief is the oldest drug we have. So I'm cool with that. But again, there's an idea and then there's an action, right? And then a drug actually, the drug takes action over your body, right? The drug actually goes in there and it, you know what I mean? It does its it does its Serena Williams in there, you know what I'm saying? And then it actually does change how your body is producing at that moment. Now, mind, you know what I'm saying? Your mind can also do that just by thoughts, and that's kind of cool too. But your mind, with the help of a certain drug or just a certain stimulant, it's almost like a boost. You know what I'm saying? It's almost that extra little kick. Maybe it's that thing that's gonna get you just over that hump, just a little bit.
All right, appreciate that. And Bree, I do have a question for you as well. Not the same question. If relief has such a strong correlation to our biology, could happiness be just as easy as learning and managing our chemical states? And you can start, and I'll have the timer up in just a moment.
Yeah, I think to some degree, happiness, it all is about managing chemical states, but I don't think the average layperson experiences that way. So I'm gonna say no, like kind of no, just because the average person doesn't really know, like, oh, I'm doing this and it's feeding my dopamine, or I'm doing this and it's feeding my oxytocin. But at the end of the day, we like naturally know that. Like we intuitively do things that gives us dopamine hits or oxytocin hits or whatever kind of chemical thing we need. So yeah, I do think happiness is a result of chemical states being managed well, but I don't think it's like, I don't think you can learn to manage your chemical states, because I just feel like it's like too overwhelming for the average person to really like think about.
Totally fair. All right, well, thank you both for your responses. We are going, and those responses from the audience, thank you so much. We are going to move on to our next section, the cost of consciousness. So, with the average session of therapy costing between $100 to $250, and that would be like once a week, typically up to once a month if you're trying to be more sparse with it. For continual mental health work, it's statistically a luxury that the top 20% can pay for comfortably. The accessibility in food deserts, a $3 highly processed meal is the most efficient form of mood regulation available. It is a rational, economic choice for immediate survival. And as far as religion, while free to enter, organized religion often demands or coerces or at least requests strongly a 10% tithe on top of general offerings, and a massive investment of social capital, your physical labor and time, that the working poor often cannot spare. So my question for the two of you today would be, our therapy, and let me make sure there's not a timer. Is there a timer? There's a timer. Give me a second. Jesus Christ, why are they adding timers to this? All right. Are therapy and religion just high-end coping mechanisms for those who can afford the luxury of paying someone to listen or putting money in the collection plate, while the rest of the world uses what actually works and is available in the moment? So we are going to start with Bree. You can address the prompt and I'll have the timer up momentarily.
Okay, my classism is gonna come out here. Okay.
Let's go.
I do agree that to some degree therapy and religion is high-end coping mechanisms for those who can afford it. And I think the average person does use what usually is, I don't think it works. I think it's available in the moment. It's a temporary fix. It's a band-aid. It's not like actually solving anything. And I think that inability to get help is actually what keeps them there. So I just think it's a cycle of like peasantry almost in a way. Like it's maybe it's rigged that way, or maybe it's just, I don't know. I can't say which one comes first. Like, is it rigged, or are people who just have a lower level of conscientiousness just living life differently inherently than those who have a higher level of conscientiousness, which is the older I get, I'm more on the latter. Like,
Okay.
I think some people are just more conscientious than others. Now that could be nurture versus nature. I don't think anybody is inherently that way. But when you're raised in survival mode and you only have models of survival and reactionary responses, I do think that it can feel like, oh, this works. I eat a cheeseburger, I feel better. But you're still poor, you're still sick, you're still doing this every other day or every week. So clearly it's not working for you. But if that doesn't spike you to figure out a more long-term or invest in yourself, because yeah, a burger is $3, but some people eating out for like almost every meal. So like, if you really look at how much you spend on takeout, I personally have seen people spend thousands of dollars in 1 month on takeout.
I've seen it.
I'm not gonna spend thousands of dollars in 1 month on my therapy because it's a set price. So I just feel like, I mean, if you're not conscientious enough to realize you need better, more sustainable help, go ahead, eat your little $3 cheeseburger. And that's why you eating cheeseburgers and probably gonna keep eating cheeseburgers in the south of the red line. So that's my answer. I came early.
Okay. All right.
That's your stupid ass rule.
Hey, I love it. I love it. Yeah. Okay. Yella, you can go ahead and attack the prompt. I'll have the timer up in a moment.
Okay. Now, while I do agree with Bree on the fact that people basically reach for what they can grab for, or I guess, you know what I'm saying, they can only do what they can do, right? And I guess that is like a way to kind of look up at the people who use those high-end coping mechanisms. But I will say that from the numbers given by our mediator, you know, $200 on up to therapy and almost 10% of your income. Not just like a set price, but that's 10% of what you make, right? Goes to tithes. That's supposed to be that.
Gross.
Yeah, right. So that's a little more than a couple thousand over a month or so. You know what I mean? And that's just like you said, once a week. Maybe you go to church on Sunday, maybe you have your therapy session on a Thursday, right? But check this out. There's deals every week on food. They have a dedicated day of the week where people fellowship over tacos. So it ain't just about having the tacos. It might be you and your buddies meet up. It might be something you and your girl go do. They got a spot up the street from me that does 50-cent wings every Monday. And not party wings. Talking about full wings. Like, there's a comfort in knowing that Sunday night you get to go to sleep and wake up tomorrow knowing that you can go order your 20 wings for $10. See, there's a peace in knowing that, because it's sometimes that we just need a comfort in knowing that tomorrow is going to be the day that we get what we want. And it's not that much. As well as a lot of times those high-end coping mechanisms are honestly just ways to show social status. It's not like it really means anything to you. It's more like a competition. I can show you how much more I can invest into this thing that you can't. So do you think like your monetary investment or your monetary value makes you more important than the person praising the same deity? What about the person who only had the $3 to buy that burger? Are they less than you because you got $250 to drop into pastor's collection plate every Sunday? I side eye your value. I side eye your standards. Because you're taking something that isn't real and making it so.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Bree, would you like to take a minute to rebut?
I think it's a sound argument. I think it's more of the argument against or just saying that like people do the best that they can. And I think that is just the reality. I don't think it makes anybody inherently better as far as their value as a human. But I do think there are higher quality choices that yield higher quality outcomes. And if someone has a better quality of life than someone else, that just is what it is. I don't think that necessarily makes them better like than another person. But I mean, yeah, having more money does, up until a certain point, improve quality of life. It doesn't guarantee happiness, but it does improve quality of life. So I'm more so just saying, like, if you have to keep, like, dang, if you're 50 years old and you've been reaching for $3 cheeseburgers for 50 years and you just never thought, I should like probably do something about only being able to get a $3 cheeseburger, I mean, I'm sorry, I might be on some level better than them.
All right, thank you so much, Bree. Yellow, would you like to respond to that?
I would, and I know this will be my last minute.
Yes.
And I will speak to something specifically that Bree mentioned, and she said quality of life. And I would argue that from our stance in this debate, that neither are living the highest quality of life if they are in places where they have to find coping mechanisms just to get through it now. Would I argue that a higher salary gives you a better quality of living? Maybe so. But life is more than just living. It's experience. It's peace. It's sometimes trying to find out how to get through that next moment. And if you don't have those opportunities to go off to some high-end religious retreat to go pray to whatever deity under some special tree, and all you can go do is get you a 2 for 50 cent or 2 for $1 bag of chips, then I mean, you're not like us.
I appreciate that. And I lost track on that one. I know that was your second rebuttal, Yellow. Bree, did you have a second rebuttal? Did you want to go?
Yeah, that was my. I rebutted first.
Yeah,
okay.
We both had a rebuttal, so that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, both had 2 rebuttals. Cool. I know Bree had 2 or just the 1. My bad.
Oh, I did the 1, but I started, so I just feel like, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So we will move on to our third segment. Thank you. We are making great time, guys. I think Bree will be in time for what she needs to do. I appreciate everybody for minding the clock. Thank you, everybody in the audience. Appreciate you all so much. I'm enjoying this more than I think even more than I thought I would for whatever reason. But segment 3. So first, unlike a therapy session, which aims for an eventual graduation or a sustained tool that you can engage with to manage stressors, chemical coping often requires escalating doses to achieve the same baseline. Was that the diminishing rewards, or I can't remember the dopamine word for it, but there's a fall off of that. You plateau. Then there's also Marx's famous critique of religion as a tool to keep the masses compliant. Religion as the opiate of the masses, contrasted with modern food comas and pharmaceutical numbness. And lastly, society celebrates the hard work of therapy, but vilifies the easy out of chemical escapism, which Bree just said she thinks that makes you a lesser person. So the question on the dais is, do we privilege therapy and religion simply because they demand more effort, or because they actually solve the underlying problem rather than just masking the symptoms? We are going to begin with, and I can't remember who I started with last time. I probably need to find
I started last time.
You started last time. Yella, we'll start with you here. You can get started, and I'll have the clock up momentarily.
We absolutely privilege therapy and religion just for the sake of effort, and it goes back to my last argument of it being more of a popularity contest, right? It's just showing off, for lack of a better term. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't actually really solve anything. And people who go through these steps tell you themselves that it doesn't really solve anything, because we've heard the idea that, you know what I'm saying, healing is always, you're always healing, you're always continuous. It's even in the ideas of being like a drug addict or something like that, they're telling you that you always in recovery. So the thought is that it's an ongoing process, so it's never really being solved. That's why it's privileged. Plus, people are definitely it's probably gonna go back a lot to the last argument. People are going to privilege that because they invest more. They put more money into it. Entire lifestyle changes come from therapy and religion. People start buying more books. People start, investing in more activities that lean towards benefiting them there. Now, does it get them through their day to day? Yeah, but does it actually solve anything? No. Or it wouldn't. It wouldn't need to. It wouldn't be a need to frequent it as much as they do if it actually solves something. And
did you come early to your conclusion?
I pre.
All right. You came early to your conclusion. All right, perfect. All right, Bree, would you like to go ahead and take on the prompt, and I'll have the timer momentarily.
I'm muted. Okay.
Okay.
I think, as a woman, I think we're more, I'm going to say, I think there's a bias that we value effort, or what we deem to be effort. And I do think society does to some degree reward effort, not all effort though. I don't think pure labor, hard work with your hands is necessarily rewarded. I think mental labor is more rewarded, even in corporate structures. The people who do more mental work do tend to get paid more. They're managing more things at once. And so I do think that that's why therapy and religion, things that are conscientious, are generally, I think, more rewarded in society in general. And I think therapy and religion are no different. Now, as far as solving, I guess that's the nuance, because therapy to me is more like a maintenance thing. It's not necessarily, there are some things that can be solved with therapy, but life is a constantly evolving thing. And I think that therapy, more than anything, just helps you see patterns throughout different realms, because I think the average person, especially the person reaching for the cheeseburger, may not realize how they do the same thing in different realms. They see each situation as separate. Oh, this happened in this situation. This happened in this situation. They don't see the pattern of themselves. And so I think that that's what therapy helps you do more than solve. Now, as far as why are the payoffs later? That's why. I think because sometimes it takes time, and someone whose sole job is to point out you in every situation, it's going to take them a while to do that consistently enough for eventually you just be like, oh, I'm doing the thing. It's like when you raise kids, it's you might have to tell them every day, tie your shoes, check your shoes, check your shoes. One day your kid's going to get up and be like, oh, I'm about to leave, I got to check my shoes. And you're like, oh my God, 7 years later, they finally check their shoes before I had to say something. And I feel like that's kind of what therapy really does. So I think if people have the idea that therapy is going to fix this, it's going to solve it, it's going to make me never encounter the thing again, that's just not what it's for. And I think that it does solve the problem of seeing yourself better, seeing the shadow of yourself, or those parts that you can't see. That's what therapy is there to do. And I appreciate.
All right, appreciate it. Yella, would you like to take a minute to rebut? Before you do, shout out to Shags in the building. Appreciate
it. Hello.
What up, Shag? No. I'm not gonna rebut.
All right, perfect. We will move on to some follow-up questions I have for the two of you. So, I'm not even sure. Now that I read this question, let me read this. Let me read these questions really quick. Give me a quick moment. That's interesting. Okay. I know I went through these last night, but I must have rewrote this, and now the way I rewrote it, I don't know exactly what I was going for here. But I know I'm gonna ask this to Yella, because Bree did speak about how women do see effort, and we think in society we do like mental cognitive labor is seen as superior to physical labor, and I see that white collar versus blue collar. But why do we view, in your estimation, Yella, why do we view earning your mental health through struggle as more virtuous than simply switching off the pain chemical? I'll give you a minute.
I think due to the romanticization, is that's a word?
Yeah.
Of mental health now. I think if we were having this conversation maybe like 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, then that's something I'm going to rock with you. Because in reality, it do take a lot of work. Right? Mm-hmm. But now I think the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Because it felt like people were actually trying to come to a solution and fixing it and turning off the pain. Now, this just really seems like going to get more Band-Aids put on. And then it's like really poor Band-Aids too. It's like the ones that be in that old first aid kit that be in your granny top drawer and shit. Like, the paper was white when they first got it, but then it's black brown now. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Oh, like them cheap Band-Aids that's more, they don't stretch, like they don't have that clothy kind of feel. They like just plastic. Oh, I hate them Band-Aids.
Yeah, your finger better be the right size, so it's over with.
Yeah. As soon as you said it, man, my mind immediately went to them bandages. Like you said, where the paper with the Band-Aids are in is actually starting to peel away because the glue is the glue on the paper has lost adhesion that the Band-Aids did. So the Band-Aids trash. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. All right, now Bree, your question. If a drug masks a symptom perfectly for a lifetime, does the underlying problem even exist anymore? And that's the question I don't know why I worded it like that, but I'm gonna let you answer it how it is, no matter how.
That's a good question.
It doesn't make sense to my brain right now. But...
I feel like my first issue is just to say that a drug masks a symptom perfectly for a lifetime. All of that just feels like counter.
It feels icky now, doesn't it? Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Like if the drug cured it, then that would be perfect, and then you can say that it works. But if it's masking, to say mask, it means that the problem definitely exists. You're just masking it. So
let's say it treats the symptom. It treats the symptom so that it's never visible. Like you never see the symptom. Like if you're narcoleptic, you never pass out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
I mean, typically, like in experience, the way drugs work is like, okay, it gets rid of one symptom, but you sacrifice something for it. Lexapro is great, but somebody could catch on fire in front of you, and you probably be like, that's cool, and like walk off. So like there's always something that you're going to sacrifice to get rid of something. So no, yes, the underlying problem still very much so exists. And even though now it's like, oh, I don't have this symptom, it's like referred pain. Like, oh yeah, your literal appendix maybe doesn't hurt, but you have this sharp stabbing pain on the other side. It's like, same.
Thank you so much. I would have reworded that again, but I needed, because I was in the moment. I can't do it on the fly. But I was like, I don't like the way I definitely would have phrased that differently. Not with the does it not exist anymore?
Yeah.
Does it negate the value of it? Like, does it change the value of the underlying problem if the symptoms are masked? I know a lot of people will stop taking their medication because they feel like the problem doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So that's. I think that was my thought line, but I didn't word that the way I wanted that in there. But yeah, my bad. We are to the finals. We're making great time, guys. I appreciate you, and shout out to Shags. Entertain him while he's washing his dishes.
Let's go.
And also shout out to Shags, who dropped $1 to make you holler, drop the pale fish on you. Let's go on the yellow side of things. Let's go. She's right. No need to rebut that. Yeah, that's facts. Yeah, he's like, I ain't got a rebuttal for that one. So shout out to y'all, man. So we are in the final lap, the final segment. So the final frontier of fulfillment. We'll start with Bree, but let me set this up. First, clinical studies show that a significant percentage of patients on SSRIs or inactive talk therapy still report high consumption of hyperpalatable foods, high sugar, high fat content, to manage acute spikes in cortisol, stress hormones. Secondly, data on comfort food in religious communities suggests that potluck culture often serves as a socially sanctioned dopamine substitute for the very vices like alcohol, drugs that the religion forbids, and the relapse rate. We talked about somebody just recently talked about, within the last 6 months, I would say, talked about obesity in the Black church. I think they specifically outlined the Black church, but obesity in the church probably, but somebody talked about that. And lastly, even with successful spiritual or psychological intervention, the psychological urge for a chemical shortcut remains the leading cause of behavioral relapse, suggesting that conscious cure never fully overrides the biological basement. So, the question for you guys is, if therapy and religion are the superior solutions, why are the pews and the therapist couches filled with people who are still overeating, over-medicating, and chasing chemical highs the moment the session or the sermon ends? We will be starting with Bree. You can get started, and of course, as usual, the timer will be up short.
I don't think doing the thing, as we said with the person with the cheeseburger, it is gonna come up again. So I don't think doing one version of this is gonna necessarily get rid of it. You're still human, and that's why I said nothing solves the problem, because a lot of the things that are putting you in the state are outside of your locus of control. Like, you're gonna go to job at work and someone's gonna irritate you. It's stressful. Like, you have to pay bills. Like, the very thing of life is stressful. So I don't think people, none of these things can ever solve that. So I don't really necessarily see people still chasing these biological highs or whatever as necessarily failure, unless you're talking about like addiction counseling or something. Like, we should see an improvement, but just for things that people go to therapy for, like I go to therapy for burnout, generally speaking. So it's like, yeah, I'm always going to be at risk of burnout because I work and I have a business and I have kids and I have, so I don't think that me constantly needing that therapy means that it's just not working. So people are still going to take, and I can't just always call my therapist. I might have had a terrible day at work and I'm about to get these hot wings or drink some wine because it's like literally 8 p.m. Like, what else am I going to do? And maybe when I go to sleep, I'll feel better. But there are some things that I think my therapist is better suited to solve, but they're usually not crisis. If you're in a crisis, smoke the blunt, drink the wine, eat the cheeseburger. Who cares? Do, like Yella saying, do whatever you need to do to ground yourself. And then when you get up later, the next day, you can call your therapist and be like, I need a session within the next 48 hours. You can, so in some ways, I don't think they have to be like opposite. I think well-adjusted people use some amount of all of them or both. I think a person with a higher quality of life or conscientious will actually realize that they're probably utilizing all of their resources to manage the stress of life and not just depending on one or the other. Oh, I came early, so yeah.
All right, perfect. Yella, please go ahead and take your 3 minutes.
Oh shit, I was muted, my bad. If therapy and religion are superior solutions, then why are the pews and therapists? Okay, so basically, if it's the better option, then why are the people who are suffering the most still there and they still suffering? It's because none of this shit work at the end of the day. Like, real shit. Right? So we all just kind of like grasping on the straws. And I wish that we had more of that understanding, because like niggas just trying to do the best they can. You know what I'm saying? Now, if there wasn't such a superiority complex with those places, I think more people would be gung-ho to go try them, right? So is the barrier of entry for going to get a bag of weed ain't the same for trying to find a church home. You know what I'm saying? Because where you going and your weed man ain't judging you. You can come as you are. You can come in your pajamas, your flip flops. You can come booty butt naked. He don't care. He just wants you to get what you need. But see, when you go up in a church or something somewhere, and you actually looking for a change, you're gonna be met with judgment. You're gonna be met with ridicule. You're gonna be met with, you know what I'm saying? Just so much negativity going through the door. When I think what you really just needed was the hug of some really good sativa.
Okay, let's go.
You know what I'm saying? And there's something about that quick release, almost like when we finish early on our time. You know what I'm saying? There's something special about that as well. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have a fondness for that.
Nothing like a good pre, right? Just what I'm saying.
I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying it today. I ain't gonna lie. Oh no, that's a little touch for me. My fault. Please continue your time.
But no, it's basically like, what I'm saying is it's definitely built as a superior solution, especially because it's not just built in with practical solutions here, right? There's also this idea that if you come do this, you get a better existence after you leave here. And I think they focus more on the after as opposed to the during. And hey, we need some help during. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's more the bigger issue right now.
All right, man. Definitely appreciate that perspective. Yeah, coming early to your conclusion has been very enjoyable. I appreciate that little. I appreciate that. But did you have a rebuttal, Britt? Did you want to take a minute to rebut that?
Yeah, a little. I mean, I mostly agree. But once again, the older I get, I just think that some people, it's like when we do the Ocean personality test, some people are just more conscientious than others. And I think if a person really isn't conscientious, then they're, eat the burger, do the, drink the booze. I don't think you could ever make a person who generally isn't as conscientious see the value in diving into the consciousness, into their own. Anyway. So, that's why I also don't think these things are competing, because I think the people who typically need more will seek more. And the people who just like, oh, a cheeseburger gets me through it, that's fine. I think that, I think it still comes down to classism, because I do think that the society does demand that a group of people who can just eat a cheeseburger and then that's all they need to go do some bullshit again and again and again.
Okay, I like that. Yellow, would you like to take a minute to rebut that?
No.
All right, perfect. So I do want to ask you, Yellow, this question, because Bree did mention this, and I do like this point because it was something I had thought about when setting this up. Let me make sure I have the right thing. So therapy often includes medication. Religion often includes ritualized sensory experiences like music, food, touch. Meanwhile, drugs and food are wrapped in culture, identity, and even sometimes spirituality, like ayahuasca retreats and stuff like that. And if you've ever seen someone smoking or drinking, you know it's deeply ritual. It's the ultimate real tool is the ultimate real tool. A combination of both, like Bree was speaking, or is that just a way to avoid picking a side? Yellow, would take a minute to answer that question for me.
I mean, no, the ideal is always somewhere in the middle, right? You would want to find like a blend of both. You would want to find somewhere where you can kind of, even if it's using like weed or whatever, that's my thing. Even if it's using weed to get you to a different spiritual level. I know I gave a particular person a hard time saying they saw God off an edible, but hey, you know what? If that's what got you up that ladder, like Bree said, if if that burger is your temporary fix, if that might be your entrance into, you know what I'm saying, becoming more spiritual, becoming more open-minded to a lot of things. I've seen that go hand in hand. That don't always seem like a bad vibe to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little more open to it when I've, you know what I'm saying, when I've had one or two in me. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 3 if it was a good night. And no, it didn't hurt.
You know they ain't gonna, did it?
Did it
Does it
hurt?
hurt?
I was going to see. Okay, Native Americans will feed you mushrooms and peyote and put you in a sweat tent for you to gain enlivened things, so they can go hand. Yes, they can go hand in hand quite often. So I did like that Bree brought that into the conversation. That was something I had set up. But I have another question for Bree in just a moment. Here we go. All right. So if we could create a pill, Bree, that provided the exact same peace as like a lifetime of prayerful meditation, would the meditation itself still have any value? Take a minute to answer that question for me.
Yeah, because I think that a person who's doing meditation understands something valuable about what the meditation does. I don't think, and that's why I still think the person who goes for the burger and the person who goes to therapy or meditates are just inherently different. I think that the person who goes for the burger is I won't say reactionary. I think they just want to fix it.
Okay.
Like, I feel bad. I want it gone now. The person who wants to meditate or goes to therapy isn't necessarily on that same vibe. It's like, I want to evolve to the point where I know I'm going to feel bad, but like, I want to have a zoomed out viewpoint of my own life where I have a different understanding of why I'm suffering. Not that I won't, you know, and so that by having a different understanding of why I'm suffering or what suffering is, I don't need to medicate through it, because I can just have a certain peace with it. And I think those two mindsets are different.
Ooh, I like that. Bree just brought something really good into it. So, I'm gonna ask this question. I didn't have this pre-set up, so I don't have it typed out. But Bree made me think about it like this way. These two, one is like the tangible things that we can touch, taste, feel, and the other thing is more abstract, the God concept or the psychology, the id, the ego, the superego, the schemas, the shadow, the animus, all that stuff. Are we talking about soothing ourselves through internalization versus soothing ourselves through externalization? And Yellow, would you take a minute to unpack that?
So soothing the internal by soothing the external?
So are we soothing ourselves internally, like where we can embody it, like through our feeding ourselves, the doping ourselves up through sex, like we're soothing ourselves, we internally we embody the coping, we embody the cope, versus the abstracting the cope, putting it on God, putting on the devil, putting it on, that's my childhood trauma and attachment style. So are we like internalizing it versus externalizing it? Do you think that's the divide here?
I think it's always going to come back to externalizing. Oh no, wait, that's out. That's a no. Internalizing. I think it's always going to be something about what you either feel deep inside or what you either put deep in you. Pause.
Super pause.
I mean, don't the burgers go deep in you? Don't food go deep down in you?
It goes pretty deep. It goes all the way through you. It goes from one end to the other.
Okay,
so
from one end to the other. Yeah, that's pretty deep. You know what I'm saying? Even in other ways, like, you know what I'm saying? You can look at it that way too, because people feel a certain type of way about that as well. You know what I'm saying? That could be looked at as like the drug, or, you know what I'm saying, eating. But no, it's low-key forgot the question.
Is this conversation, is this internalization versus externalization?
Oh yeah, because ultimately people have to see something, they have to feel something. Even when it comes to religion, you have to believe it so much that even when you see certain stuff, you have to believe that what you believe was that. So I feel like that's the same as actually smoking the blunt or eating the tacos.
In the sense of it just like helps you.
Yeah.
And what do you think about that, Bree? Because like you brought that up. So, like, would you expound on that for me for about a minute or so? Like, does it boil down to the internalized solution versus the externalized solution? Like the embodied versus the disembodied?
Yeah, I just think I think carnal people, they're what they're doing is, they're just trying to embody. They're not trying to think about it, I think. And then versus the it's like, I'm just gonna eat, so I'm not thinking. If you're doing anything that's carnal, requires you to move your body, you're just trying to kick into your instincts and not think. Versus, for some people, the body is suffering. I don't want to be more in it. So for me, I need to have a bigger picture. I need to be able to come out of my body and think about it in a wider scale, and that helps me have the resiliency to keep going through it, or see a way out if it's something that I have control over. I just don't think embodying in the suffering will help me come to a real solution. I'll just keep suffering. So I think for me being able to come out of myself and think about it also allows me to like see if there's a way for me to pick a different route.
Shout out to Lord. We are doing something different. Yella doing something over on YouTube. Yella through Twitch gang up in it, man. So shout out to y'all. So let me see, where are we at? We were just concluding a debate between, I guess, like physical remedies to our life stresses versus mental and emotional remedies to life stresses would be the best way to say it concisely. But we are getting to our sparring round. So at this point, the floor is going to be open for the two of you to bounce questions towards each other. If there's audience questions that you wanted to throw at us, we can ask the panelists here what the questions you have. But I have a question for you both first. And I want to put it in, because again, I did not prep properly. Let me put this in here real quick. Boom. All right. What problem in your life are you currently managing that you could solve with a remedy from the other side of the argument? So to Bree, I'll come to you second. I'll start with Yellow. So Bree, you would pick a solution that would help you manage from Yellow side. Yeah, carnal side. And Yellow, I need you to start with. I need you to pick a solution from the the religious, the psychological side that you think would help you manage a situation that you're currently going through. No timer, just is there something in your life that you're currently managing that a psychological or religious solution would help you out with? We got Zuri in the building. Good to see you. Good to see you.
So this feels like this feels super vulnerable right now.
It's possible. You don't have to tell us what the situation is. What is there a remedy from the other side that would help? You don't have to tell us what the situation is. You don't have to be completely transparent.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jason Wilson. You don't have to be transparent. Because never be vulnerable. Just you be transparent.
Right.
Right. Okay. Cool. All right. So yeah, there's a situation that would be interesting. Like if I committed to that mindset or that approach to it, it would kind of ease my disposition on it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's shit. It might be 2, 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay. All right. Well, Bree, what about you? Is there something from your side again? Something you're managing that the other side might actually help with?
I think there are times where I'm like, wow, I should probably just smoke, but I can't. So yeah, I think so. Okay. I'm like, yeah, like my mind is just very like active.
Okay.
So sometimes I just be like, I'm tripping right now. Like I think I was walking somewhere the other day. I just had a really intrusive like anxiety-ridden thought, and I even knew like in myself, like, girl, shut the fuck up. Like that is not gonna happen. Like I think I was just in the house and I was just like, something's gonna crash and fall on my child and they're gonna die. And I was just like, I don't know
wow.
if I had that feeling. Like, I'm not like, oh, I'm not in that phase of life where I'm like, it's mother's intuition, something's gonna happen. I just know that I have anxious thoughts sometimes, and I was just like, girl, shut the fuck up. You need to smoke. Like, sit your ass down.
Man, them intrusive.
I can't smoke because like I am a nurse and federally is, you know, it's not allowed. So it's like if I ever get hurt at work, I have to instantly be drug tested. So I am just never gonna like smoke, you know, in my job. But yeah, in that moment I thought, oh damn, you need to smoke. So
yeah. Them intrusive death thoughts be crazy as
right. You're like, why would you just be thinking that? You're just like at house, chilling. Like someone's gonna die right now.
Like, fuck you, brain. Fuck you. I was having a good day. Fuck you, brain.
I don't even get into it. I just like tell that voice to shut the fuck up now because of therapy. So there you go.
Yeah. No, that's pretty dope. Did you either of you have questions for each other from points that were not made? Anything that you wanted to bring up that were not, again, that was not brought up, or that you wanted to ask or go back to while we have this?
Breezy.
I'm gonna let her go first. No, you go first.
Okay. So what do you think would help your side get a better reputation as far as being a more reasonable option as to why you would, you know what I'm saying, why you would not absolutely should try it, at least say it like that, like not live by it, but at least try it, at least like give it a try.
I think like most things, there are always bad representatives. I mean, just like you smoke, and there's some people who are like there are drug addicts, and then there are people who like choose that when I have a bad day, I am going to smoke. You can call me an addict if you want to. I don't care. Like, this is just my thing. I still am a functional person, and I'm never gonna not do it. I think that it's easy to call you those people, right? Like, there are people who want to say you're an addict and you have an addiction and you need help, you know? And I think it's the same way with therapy. Like, there are people who just go to a better help session and like do it 2 times and they're like, I'm in therapy, you know? Or they just do it because they heard that they should do it and they don't really have a reason for going in the first place, which inherently is going to kind of make it not as good because you don't really have a goal here. You're just like, I heard everybody's in therapy and I want to be in it too. You know, so I just think, I don't feel like there's anything you can do. I just think that I think we should just get to the point where we look at the results of people's lives. And if I know you're in therapy and you want to be like the Jehovah's Witness for therapy and like go door to door and tell people how great it is, but you're a mess, like,
right,
I'm not gonna listen to you. Either your therapist is trash or you're lying. I really don't care which one it is. So, but I'm not gonna necessarily, I don't feel the need to defend myself because of those people.
Gotcha. We do have a question from Shags. What would it take for the demonization of other people's coping mechanisms that are in some way working for them and bringing them positivity in their life to stop? Like, what do you think it would take to stop that? And that is a good question.
I think people are always going to demonize because of, like I said, the extreme cases. Because there is addiction that ruins people's lives. I think if you're smoking consistently all the time, someone's going to be like, yeah, you're addicted and that's bad. I don't think you can do anything about that.
Yeah. Because even with my stance of like doing drugs, like reality is leave it at weed. Please don't do anything stronger than weed. Anything stronger than weed, I'm a drug addict. Like, you know what I'm saying? In the sense of the words, I'm a drug addict. But leave it at weed. Like, I'm eyeballing them niggas like Aaron Rodgers. I knew there was something wrong with that nigga going to do ayahuasca in a hut with blind to see. That's when you starting to go too far. You might be leaning a little too far. Cause, bro, you really ain't doing nothing but just indulging in a hallucinogen, right? Like, I get that, but nigga, I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it. Like, do it if you want to do it, but just understand that you're leaning into what would otherwise be a religious nut, like Bree said. Like that's just the person outside of the grocery store telling you that the resurrection of Jesus is coming. You know what I'm saying?
Right. They in the Walmart somehow we finna die tomorrow. Like this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right there at the Waffle House, like read your Bibles for the Lord is coming type shit. They ain't no different than a nigga sitting in the hut with blinders on doing ayahuasca, think he flying through the universe and shit like that, who think he kissed God's toenail. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it's really no too far.
No, it's a callback. It's an unintentional callback. Because said she was suck Jesus.
Oh yeah, I said if heaven's just messed up Jesus' toes all day, I'm like literally cool with it. Like I'm
see?
I'm down with you.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. It was funny.
I didn't hear that. Right. I didn't hear that.
But you know the type. But you knew the type so well.
Exactly.
It's a whole conversation. But that's where it ended. I'd be cool with it.
Exactly. Point.
Point taken.
Right.
All right. Well, listen, if you guys don't have anything else for the debate, that concludes it.
Oh, I got something else I didn't say.
Go ahead.
Well, I want to say, do you think that I think I'm better than people who eat cheeseburgers? Because
I definitely know that. I know that to be true. Like, I know that to be true.
Not the moderator jumping in.
I mean, because first out of your you were talking. My bad. Yeah, you talking about
No, you gotta finish. No.
I was gonna say yes.
I came early to my conclusion. I came way too early, and I wasn't invited.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely, you definitely. No, she is closer to hate than not. Like if she had to. If she had to put a label on it, it would be hate. It would be hate. She would just be like, you know what? Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
But for good reason though. For good reason, because she knows all too well the impact of too many cheeseburgers.
Yeah, I'm just like, I wish I could just eat cheeseburgers raw. My problem, then I'd be fat and unlivable.
Wait a minute.
Whoa!
That's my own dialogue.
Holy shit.
That's what the voice in my head says.
Okay.
About being fat. Like you can't be fat. Nobody gonna like you, fat girl. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
I'm just
like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's something to
that. God says to me. Okay.
She not wrong.
I'm not projecting that outward to anybody else.
Yeah, I got you. It just sound like, I'm fat, I'm unlovable. I was like, yeah.
That's what the voice says in my head. Okay, people who just be outside fat, I have respect for them. Because I'm like, my parents didn't allow me to grow up thinking that was the option. My dad started calling me fat at like 14. And I'm not fat. Like, never have been. So, my dad be like, you got a little stomach, you better watch it. Bro, I'm like 14.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
She said niggas just be existing fat. What's wrong with you?
Your parents did like shame you and say mean things to you?
Hell no, she told me I was lovable and big boned.
That's what I'm saying. Like I can't relate.
No, I was definitely enabled. For sure.
So let me wrap this up real quick and then we could just kick it for like the last few minutes till we got a dip. But I would like to extend a hand.
A handy?
To both of you.
Why you had to cuff it like that, cuff? Why you had to cuff it like that?
Straighten your hand out.
Please both of our mass debaters for a very fine job. Thank you to both of our mass debaters. Appreciate you both.
Thank you.
If anybody that's watching would like to submit an idea for another one of these with another topic, drop it in the comments. Send it to me if you are in Discord, or send it to the email if you're on YouTube. I think there's a way to get to the email if you don't have it, but drop it in the comments if you're watching the replay. If there's something tonight that got you interested in trying to come up on the panel or debate with somebody that you know or somebody that we know, let me know. And if you want to just watch us hold a hard position, you send us the topic. If you want to sit in it yourself, you don't want to sit alone in your room taking things in your own hands, you can come do it in public. So, you know, shout out to y'all for watching, but, you know, give us a shout out if you want to join in. All right. And you could be a masturbator too.
Right. And I see that Mandra asked, how did it affect me? That's how it affected me. That voice you heard when I say I can't sit and eat cheeseburgers because I'll get fat and nobody will love me. That's how it affected me. That's how my parents do that.
So I mean, but how does that I get it, how does that affect you? But like, what does that change in your behavior? Is it add shame? Is it guilt? Is it like fear? Like, what is it? How does it?
No, because I don't like care enough to have. I just don't have that relationship with food. Like, it just wasn't an option, I think. So like, even in my family, we weren't a comfort food family. Because my parents didn't have that relationship with food, that it was a comfort thing. Gotcha. You know, it was just like, oh, well, you gotta eat, so let's make this shit and eat it up. So I just think that, yeah, there was shaming if you started to get too big. There's shame, but also my parents just didn't have a relationship with food. So I think they also created an environment where it wasn't really an issue. So yeah, I can't relate to people who like love food, like foodies. I'd be like, oh, okay. I mean, what did you eat for lunch? 3 carrot sticks and a cheese stick? I don't know. I'm the cooker. Right. So I just don't have that relationship. I don't. So you could say maybe it's negative. I don't know. It could have affected me negatively. But I think not being overweight is a net positive, generally speaking.
I'll give you that.
So I'll let my dad slide on that. I mean, because I am also a woman, and I don't necessarily think it would have been to my benefit to just. My parents be like, yeah, girl, be as big as you want, girl. Like, I don't know.
So for you, as opposed to like active harm, because your family reinforced like the opposite behaviors, it didn't even actually feel like resistance. It was probably like a warning label.
Yeah, like they weren't like feeding me Twinkies and shit and then be like, you're getting fat. I mean, it's just,
yeah. I mean, that's how some people get it. Like some people are getting like they're getting the high calorie, high fat, high salt food, and then when they're getting fat, everybody's like, "What's wrong with you?
Right?
You're never gonna find a man." You know what I'm saying? But you, it was like, well, we have a healthful lifestyle. You don't want to be them people. You know?
Yeah. So nobody in my family is like overweight. Like my siblings, my mom, like even now, like she's still not. Like partners, that's a different thing, but my family, we don't. And then I just see how like some other women struggle so much with their relationship with food and like weight, and I'm just like glad that I don't have that struggle. So generally, yes, my dad fat shamed me when I wasn't fat, but you know, net positive.
Yeah. And Dory, man, I know I said hi, but man, good to see you again, man. Long time no see. Missed you, bro. Glad to see you. Hope everything's well with you.
Yeah, my relationship with food is great. She ain't never talked about breaking up with me. She ain't never talked about going nowhere, which might be a bad thing. I need to get this bitch off me.
I don't know.
You need my dad to call you and just like fat shame you for a while? He was really good at it. He fat shaming people who didn't ask for it. Like, damn, you can't just be telling random people they big.
Nah, you know what the funny part is? That's my favorite type of people. That's my mama's favorite type of people to talk about. It's fat people. She will drag a fat person. Have you heard me talk about fat people?
Yeah.
Rashawn say we hate fat people.
Y'all both hate fat people. Yeah.
That's where I get it from. It's probably internalized self-hate a little bit, but I don't like arrogant fat people though. It's a difference.
You say arrogant. I hate you.
Yeah, I hate arrogant fat people. Like, no, you fat. Nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just it'd be a little weird, man. Just know you fat, bro. Stop going to buy that XL because it's Gucci. You know damn well they ain't making it in your size, bro. Just go buy something in your size.
I think people who are comfortable in themselves in general get a softer. Like if you're like, I know what I am, I'm cool, I live my life as such. Then that doesn't even mean negative. It's just like. Yeah. I don't expect the world to yield to me if I'm choosing whatever. I'm generally cool with that. It's the people who like what do you mean you gotta put 2 belts on me?
Yeah, I hate that.
I don't know.
I agree.
I'm not trying to be mean. I just need 2 belts because you're big.
Yeah.
I'm not attacking you.
Because I would say it like this. Cause I'll say in my experience, if you carry yourself different, people treat you different. Like people, even though I'm bigger than anybody around me, almost all of the time, people don't treat me like I'm that big because I don't carry that, like that oppressive, like that. I don't even know what it is, like that struggle face that people be carrying, like when they know.
Yeah,
like the clothes are too small, or it's like it's something. I think that when you put yourself in that victim stance mentally, you put yourself in victim positions, and people don't like victim position. Like people, there's a weakness, and everybody has to like center themselves around your weakness to keep from hurting something, and nobody wants to put that extra energy into it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like people feel that energy. Like I don't want to have to put extra energy into making you feel like you can be in the space everybody else is in naturally. And if I have to put that extra energy there, it's gonna it offends me to someone. So yeah. I mean, but listen, I mean, but there's like big people. There's big people that can just be in a space. My older sister was like that too. But then there's other big people who just like they feel like you gotta make them comfortable.
Yeah, you gotta pretend like they're not or something. I don't know. Also, I just hate when patients do that too. Like, oh, I did everything bad the whole time, and now that I'm here in the hospital, though, you better treat me like I'm a healthy, regular person. It's like, oh fuck, I hate you now. I hate you immediately. So,
well, like I would say, even outside of weight, this thing is just outside of weight. I would say a lot of y'all probably even know a parent that wasn't in their kid's life, but you can never tell them that they weren't in their kid's life. Like there's no, I did my best. I was
always there for my kids.
I showed up on your 7th and your 18th birthday. What do you mean
I didn't play about mine. That's my favorite one.
They get defensive about the reality. You know, people get defensive about the reality. There's nothing you can do with them. It's like, Jesus Christ, man.
So you very much played about yours. Call me Xbox, bitch. What you talking about?
I didn't play about my kids. Ma'am, your daughter is in here. She's been doing drugs since she was 13. And her boyfriend is 12 years older than her.
Right. Her name is Tetris Jones.
Right. What are you talking about?
You definitely played about her.
Right. Not your drug addicted, emancipated 16-year-old who's on her 3rd baby at 21. And you showing up to the hospital. I don't play about mine. You sure?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's what's up.
All right, this was great. I'm gonna bounce.
Now, right?
Yes. Time for therapy. Bye.
Bye. All right, breeze out, y'all. That was cool, man. I enjoyed it. We can get her feedback. We can get a debrief and get her feedback on if she want to do something like that again in the future. But I thought it was. I enjoyed it.
If you want to end YouTube, you can just let's over to Twitch.
All right, man. Dory, we about to end this. We completed the. I wanted to do it inside of 90 minutes, so we finished it. So anybody that's over to YouTube, if you want to come over to Twitch on Yella's channel, let me see. Twitch.tv/OYellow. That should be the channel. But we're probably just gonna hang out for a quick minute. I don't know what Yella's getting ready to get into, but that concludes like the debate portion of the evening. So we're gonna say goodbye over to YouTube, man. Much love to you, Dory. Good to see you again. Anybody again that watches the replay, man, if y'all want to take part or suggest some topics for us to do, let us know and I'll do a thing. I should get Twitch back. Okay. All right, man. Appreciate you, man. All right, bye, Naya. We'll see you in a minute. All right. Remove.